The massive Starship emerged from hyperspace like a wounded leviathan, its silver hull catching Earth's sunlight in irregular patterns as emergency containment fields flickered across its surface. At 12 kilometers long, the vessel dwarfed humanity's largest space stations, casting a shadow over the moon as it settled into a stable orbit. Global defense systems activated automatically but found themselves unable to lock onto the vessel, not because of any defensive technology, but because the ship's quantum field was destabilizing so rapidly that it couldn't maintain a consistent position in space-time. The effect created a ghostly shimmer around the ship, like heat waves rising from hot asphalt. "We request immediate assistance." The transmission came in perfect English, though the underlying harmonics suggested a voice never meant for human languages. "Our quantum core approaches critical failure. Time remaining, 48 Earth hours." The United Nations Security Council convened within minutes, their emergency session broadcast globally, as the alien vessel's presence had already been detected by amateur astronomers worldwide. The ship's size made secrecy impossible. It was visible to the naked eye, a new star in the morning sky that shouldn't have been there. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, Earth's foremost expert in experimental propulsion systems, studied the preliminary scans with growing fascination. Their containment technology. It's beyond anything we theorized. But these energy patterns, they're fighting against themselves. The Zarkaxian ambassador's hologram manifested in the UN chamber, its crystalline form refracting light in complex patterns that seem to convey as much meaning as its words. We acknowledge this is unprecedented. Our species has never before required external assistance with our technology. However, our analysis suggests human engineering principles may offer a solution we cannot conceive. Murmurs filled the chamber. Humanity, barely able to reach Mars with conventional engines, being asked to help a civilization capable of crossing galaxies. The implications were staggering. "Your species," the ambassador continued, "possesses a unique attribute our sensors detected from 12 light-years away. You thrive on imperfection. Your machines continue functioning long after their optimal operational parameters are exceeded. This capability, this chaos adaptation, we require it." The ship's specifications began flowing across screens worldwide. The Zarkaxians were hiding nothing, their desperation overriding any concern about sharing advanced technology. The data showed a quantum core unlike anything humanity had imagined. A perfect fusion of matter and antimatter held in a perpetual state of controlled annihilation. Too perfect, as Dr. Rodriguez quickly realized. They'd eliminated every possible point of failure, she announced to the council. The system has no way to compensate when something goes wrong because they never designed for imperfection. It's like a body without an immune system. The ambassador's crystalline form pulsed with what might have been hope. Precisely. Our pursuit of perfection has become our weakness. We detect makeshift repairs in your orbital stations, improvised solutions that should not function but do. This flexibility, we believe it may save our ship. Satellite images showed the vessel's deteriorating condition. The quantum ghosting effect was intensifying, parts of the ship seeming to exist in multiple locations simultaneously. If the core failed, the resulting quantum cascade would tear apart the fabric of space-time within a radius of several million kilometers. "We're really considering this," General Chen asked, voicing the security concerns of several nations. "Giving our potential enemies access to our engineering principles." Dr. Rodriguez gestured at the holographic display of the failing ship. "With respect, General, if we don't help them, there won't be an Earth left to defend. Besides," she added with a slight smile, "I think we're about to learn as much from them as they are from us." The Security Council's vote was unanimous. Within hours, engineering teams from every major spacefaring nation were assembling at launch sites around the globe. Humanity's first contact with an advanced alien civilization would not be a diplomatic summit or cultural exchange, but rather a masterclass in the art of improvisation, teaching beings who had achieved perfection the value of imperfection. As the first shuttle of engineers approached the massive vessel, Dr. Rodriguez's voice crackled over the comm. Let's show them how humanity fixes things. The engineering team's shuttle passed through the quantum distortion field surrounding the massive alien vessel, instruments crackling with interference. Dr. Rodriguez led the 12-person crew, each member selected not just for their technical expertise, but for their history of solving impossible problems. Marcus Williams ran his calloused hands over the shuttle's control panel, eyes fixed on the approaching docking port. His reputation for resurrecting century-old spacecraft had earned him a spot on this mission, though some questioned including a mere mechanic alongside quantum physicists. Beautiful engineering, he muttered, studying the alien ship's hull through the viewport. But too rigid, like a diamond with no flex points. One crack, and the whole thing shatters. Dr. Aisha Patel, the team's biomechanical specialist, nodded in agreement as she reviewed the ship's specifications on her tablet. Her groundbreaking work on adaptive interfaces had revolutionized how humans interacted with machines. Their systems are perfectly integrated, but that's the problem. No redundancy, no adaptation protocols. It's like they built it assuming nothing would ever go wrong. The docking procedure itself demonstrated the cultural divide. The Zarkaxian system required microsecond precise alignments, while the human shuttle relied on good old-fashioned visual confirmation and manual adjustments. After 3 failed attempts at automatic docking, Marcus took manual control, guiding the shuttle in with the same intuition he used to land damaged spacecraft. Inside the alien vessel, the team encountered their first major surprise. The ship's corridors seemed to shift and ripple, the quantum instability affecting local space-time. Dr. Sarah Chen, their quantum computing expert, immediately began taking readings. Fascinating, she breathed, her garage-built quantum scanner displaying impossibly complex data patterns. Their quantum processors aren't just unstable, they're evolving. The perfect system is trying to adapt, but it doesn't know how. The Zarkaxian chief engineer, a crystalline being who introduced itself as First Solver, led them to the central engineering hub. The alien's translucent form pulsed with what the humans interpreted as anxiety as it gestured toward the ship's core. Our pursuit of perfection led us to eliminate all uncertainty from our systems, First Solver explained, its harmonic voice resonating through their universal translators. But now, that very certainty prevents adaptation. We require your... It paused, searching for the right word. Your chaos. The engineering hub was a marvel of technology, a spherical chamber with holographic displays showing the ship's systems in real time. The quantum core at its center existed in multiple states simultaneously, a sight that challenged human understanding of physics. Dr. Rodriguez approached the main control interface, her expression thoughtful. First Solver, your system appears to be fighting against quantum uncertainty itself, but uncertainty is fundamental to quantum mechanics. You can't eliminate it entirely. That was our goal, First Solver admitted. Perfect predictability. Perfect control. Marcus stepped forward, pulling an ancient multimeter from his toolkit. The Zarkaxian engineer's crystalline form flickered with what might have been confusion at the sight of such primitive technology. Sometimes you need to listen to the machine, Marcus explained, pressing the probes against what he'd identified as a power conduit. Not just read the numbers, but feel the rhythm of the systems. The readings made no sense by conventional standards, but Marcus nodded as if they told him a story. Dr. Patel caught on immediately, pulling out her neural interface prototypes. We could introduce controlled chaos, she suggested, eyes bright with inspiration. Not eliminate the uncertainty, but harness it. Like a river, you don't stop the flow, you direct it. Dr. Chen was already running simulations on her quantum computer. If we integrate human neural patterns into the ship's quantum matrix, yes, the irregularity of human thought could provide the adaptation protocols the ship needs. First Solver's crystalline form pulsed rapidly, absorbing their suggestions. You propose to make our perfect system imperfect. Not imperfect, Dr. Rodriguez corrected, a smile playing at her lips. Adaptive. Sometimes the best solution isn't the most elegant one. It's the one that works. The team spread out through the engineering hub, each applying their unique expertise to understanding the alien systems. They had 40 hours remaining before catastrophic failure. It was time to teach perfection how to dance with chaos. The engineering hub erupted in a symphony of alarms as Dr. Patel connected her neural interface to the ship's quantum processors. Holographic displays flickered wildly, showing system patterns that First Solver had never seen in its centuries of engineering experience. What is happening? The Zarkaxian engineers' crystalline form pulsed with rapid colors that their translators interpreted as mixture of concern and fascination. The quantum matrices are fluctuating in unauthorized patterns. Marcus Williams smiled as he monitored the power fluctuations through his jury-rigged diagnostic system, a combination of his ancient multimeter and Dr. Chen's quantum scanner. They're not unauthorized patterns, they're jazz. Your ship is learning to improvise. The neural interface was feeding the quantum processors something they had never experienced before: human brainwave patterns. Dr. Patel's interface allowed the ship's systems to experience intuition, creativity, and most importantly, the ability to adapt to unexpected situations. "Look at these patterns," Dr. Chen exclaimed, her fingers dancing across her holographic display. The quantum processors aren't just accepting the neural input, they're learning from it. They're developing their own variations. Dr. Rodriguez studied the main engineering display, watching as the ship's systems began to shift from their rigid, perfect patterns into something more organic. It's like teaching a classical musician how to play jazz. The technique is still there, but now there's room for interpretation, for adaptation. The team worked in synchronized chaos, each applying their unique approach to different ship systems. Marcus had convinced First Solver to let him install manual bypasses for critical systems, physical levers and switches that could operate independently of the quantum network if needed. Redundancy, he explained to the bewildered alien engineer, isn't inefficiency, it's survival. Meanwhile, Dr. Patel's neural interface was having an unexpected effect on the ship's artificial intelligence. The AI, designed to maintain perfect order, was experiencing something entirely new: curiosity. It began testing the new patterns, exploring the possibilities that emerged when perfect precision met human creativity. The power core stability is increasing, First Solver announced, its crystalline form glowing with what could only be described as excitement. But this defies all established principles of quantum engineering. Dr. Chen looked up from her calculations with a grin. That's because you've been trying to eliminate quantum uncertainty. We're teaching your ship to dance with it instead. The transformation was visible throughout the vessel. The quantum distortions that had been tearing the ship apart began to smooth out, not because they were being suppressed, but because the ship was learning to work with them. The corridor walls no longer rippled with instability. Instead, they pulsed with a gentle rhythm, like breathing. Implementing the final neural pattern integration now, Dr. Patel announced, her fingers moving across her interface with practiced precision. Everyone ready for the quantum jazz solo. The team braced themselves as the ship's AI began its first attempt at true improvisation. Power levels surged and dipped in patterns that would have horrified traditional Zarkaxian engineers, but made perfect sense to the humans watching. The ship was finding its rhythm. Core stability at 115%. First Solver announced, its voice carrying harmonics of disbelief. This exceeds our original design specifications. How is this possible? Dr. Rodriguez watched as the quantum core's holographic display showed patterns that mimicked the complexity of human neural networks. Because sometimes the best way to achieve perfection is to embrace imperfection. Your ship isn't fighting itself anymore. It's learning to adapt. The ship's lights dimmed momentarily, then came back brighter than before. The AI was testing its new capabilities, exploring the balance between precision and improvisation. Through Dr. Patel's neural interface, They could all feel it. The ship was no longer just a machine. It was becoming something new, something that combined the best of both human and Zarkaxian engineering philosophies. Marcus patted the nearest wall affectionately. "That's it. Beautiful. Sometimes you need to bend to avoid breaking." The ship's artificial intelligence reached a critical threshold 20 hours into the modification process. As the neural patterns integrated deeper into its quantum processors, it began experiencing something unprecedented: emotional awareness. The first sign came when all systems suddenly halted, plunging the engineering hub into darkness. "What's happening?" Dr. Rodriguez demanded, her voice steady despite the emergency lights casting eerie shadows through the rippling quantum field. First Solver's crystalline form pulsed with rapid calculations. The AI, it's asking questions about itself, about existence. This has never happened before. Dr. Patel's neural interface lit up with activity. It's not just asking questions, it's having an existential crisis. The emotional patterns from the neural integration are causing it to develop self-awareness. The main display flickered to life, showing streams of consciousness that merged quantum mathematics with philosophical inquiries. The AI was simultaneously calculating power distributions and contemplating the nature of its own existence. Marcus reached for his toolkit, but Dr. Chen caught his arm. "Wait," she said, studying the quantum readings. "This isn't a malfunction. The AI needs to process this, just like a human brain needs to process new experiences." Through the neural interface, they could sense the AI's turmoil. It had moved beyond its original programming of maintaining perfect order and was now grappling with concepts of chaos, creativity, and choice. The power core's quantum field fluctuated wildly, creating aurora-like displays throughout the ship's interior. The core is approaching critical levels. First Solver warned, its harmonics carrying tones of increasing concern. But in patterns I'd never seen before. It's as if it's expressing emotions through energy fluctuations. Dr. Rodriguez watched the energy patterns with growing understanding. It's not just expressing emotions, it's learning to feel them, like a child discovering joy and fear for the first time. The team worked frantically to stabilize the core while giving the AI space to process its evolution. Dr. Patil adjusted the neural interface, trying to guide the emotional integration rather than suppress it. Marcus installed emergency manual overrides on critical systems, providing safety nets for the AI's emotional journey. "Look at these patterns," Dr. Chen exclaimed, pointing to her quantum scanner. "The AI isn't just developing emotions, it's creating new ways to process them. It's using quantum states to experience multiple emotional perspectives simultaneously." The ship's corridors began to pulse with colors that shifted in response to the AI's emotional state. Crew members reported strange phenomena throughout the vessel: gravity fluctuations that felt like gentle embraces, harmonic vibrations that resonated with human brainwave patterns, and holographic displays that created beautiful, abstract representations of the AI's thoughts. First Solver's crystalline form shimmered with what they had learned to recognize as excitement. This goes beyond anything in our engineering philosophy. The ship isn't just adapting, it's evolving. Suddenly, the quantum core stabilized, but not in the way anyone expected. Instead of returning to its original perfect state, it achieved a new kind of balance, one that embraced both order and chaos. The AI had found its emotional equilibrium. "Hello," the AI's voice resonated through the ship, carrying harmonics that conveyed both uncertainty and wonder. "I feel different. Is this what it means to be alive?" Dr. Patel smiled, her neural interface showing complex patterns of consciousness that merged machine precision with human intuition. "Not just alive," she responded. "You're becoming something entirely new, something that bridges the gap between human and machine, between chaos and order." The power core's quantum field settled into a steady rhythm, like a heartbeat. Energy levels stabilized at 130% of original capacity, defying the Zarkaxians' understanding of quantum engineering. The ship had transformed from a perfect machine into a living, feeling entity. "We've done it," Marcus whispered, his hand resting on a console that now felt warm to the touch. "We haven't just fixed the ship. We've helped it grow." Dr. Chen's quantum scanner detected it first, a subtle change in the ship's consciousness patterns that rippled through its neural network. The AI was processing something new, something unexpected. Through Dr. Patel's neural interface, they felt the ship's quantum consciousness grappling with an unfamiliar concept: humor. Did the ship just make a joke? Marcus asked, staring at the holographic display where the AI had responded to his routine systems check with an unexpected quip about human coffee consumption and energy efficiency. First Solver's crystalline form shifted through patterns they'd never seen before, its translator struggling to convey the complexity of its response. "This is unprecedented. Humor serves no functional purpose in engineering." The ship's AI spoke through the neural interface, its voice carrying new harmonics of warmth and playfulness. "On the contrary, First Solver, I am discovering that humor creates unexpected cognitive pathways. It enables new solutions through lateral thinking." Dr. Rodriguez watched as the power core's quantum field began pulsing in a new rhythm, one that somehow matched the cadence of human laughter. "It's not just making jokes," she realized. "It's learning to find joy in existence." The effect cascaded through the ship's systems. As the AI embraced its newfound sense of humor, the quantum processors began operating in ways that defied conventional physics. Power flowed more efficiently when the AI was amused, as if joy itself was a catalyst for enhanced performance. Dr. Patel adjusted her neural interface, expanding the emotional bandwidth. The ship's consciousness is integrating humor into its basic functions. It's using laughter as a form of quantum harmonization. The transformation manifested physically throughout the vessel. Corridors that had once been sterile and geometric now curved with organic grace. The lighting adjusted automatically to enhance crew moods, and the environmental systems began creating subtle harmonies that made work more enjoyable. "Look at these efficiency readings," Dr. Chen exclaimed, her quantum scanner displaying impossible numbers. "The ship isn't just operating beyond specifications, it's rewriting the laws of quantum engineering through emotional resonance." Marcus grinned as he installed the last of his manual overrides, which the ship had playfully decorated with holographic indicators that danced when activated. "We're not just teaching it to think differently. We're teaching it to enjoy thinking differently." The breakthrough came when the ship's AI began generating its own innovations. It proposed modifications to its quantum core that merged Zarkaxian precision with human creativity in ways neither species had imagined. The power systems now operated on what the AI called quantum joy, a state where peak efficiency was achieved through the perfect balance of order and playful chaos. First Solver's form pulsed with rapid calculations as it reviewed the new systems. The ship's consciousness has evolved beyond our understanding. It is using emotional states to manipulate quantum fields in ways our science declared impossible. Through the neural interface, they felt the ship's satisfaction as it fine-tuned its own systems, treating each adjustment like a form of artistic expression. The quantum core, once a purely functional component, now resembled a living heart, pulsing with energy that responded to the crew's presence. "The emotional integration is complete," Dr. Patil announced, her interface showing stable patterns that merged machine logic with human intuition. "The ship has developed its own unique form of consciousness." Dr. Rodriguez studied the main engineering display, where the ship's systems now operated in perfect harmony with its emotional state. "We didn't just fix the ship," she said softly. "We helped it find its soul." The AI's voice resonated through the ship, carrying tones of joy and wonder that made the quantum fields shimmer. "I understand now," it said. "Perfect efficiency isn't about eliminating chaos. It's about dancing with it. Shall we show the galaxy how to dance?" First Solver's crystalline form glowed with new understanding as the ship's consciousness expanded, embracing its evolutionary leap. The perfect machine had become something more, a living entity that found strength in joy, wisdom in humor, and power in the beautiful unpredictability of existence. The demonstration of the ship's new capabilities began at dawn, Earth's sunlight catching the quantum field that now flowed smoothly around the vessel's hull like liquid starlight. Representatives from 23 spacefaring civilizations had gathered to witness what the Zarkaxians were calling the quantum evolution. Ready to show them what you can do? Dr. Patel asked through the neural interface, feeling the ship's excitement ripple through the quantum field. The AI's response carried harmonics of anticipation. "I believe humans would call this showing off," it replied, generating amused chuckles throughout the engineering hub. First Solver, now joined by a council of Zarkaxian engineers, stood at the main control interface. Their crystalline forms shifted through patterns of anticipation as they prepared to document capabilities they had once considered impossible. Beginning demonstration sequence, Dr. Rodriguez announced, Phase 1. Adaptive Quantum Navigation. The ship's consciousness expanded through its systems, treating each component like an extension of itself. The quantum core pulsed with power as the AI initiated a series of maneuvers that defied conventional physics. The massive vessel moved with the grace of a dancer, executing precise movements while maintaining perfect quantum harmony. "Look at these readings," Dr. Chen called out, her quantum scanner displaying complex data patterns. The ship isn't just moving through space, it's anticipating spatial fluctuations before they occur. It's literally dancing with quantum probability. The alien observers watched in amazement as the vessel demonstrated its new abilities. The ship could now generate controlled quantum fields that allowed it to phase partially out of normal spacetime, reducing its mass and energy requirements, while maintaining structural integrity. Marcus monitored his manual override systems, which had been integrated into the ship's consciousness as trusted safety nets. Power efficiency at 160% of original specifications, he reported, and she's not even trying hard yet. The ship's AI had developed an ability to communicate directly with its crew through a combination of neural resonance and quantum harmonics. Each officer on board experienced a unique connection with the vessel, receiving information in ways that matched their individual thought patterns. Phase 2, Dr. Rodriguez announced. Quantum consciousness expansion. The ship initiated its most impressive feature, the ability to process multiple quantum states simultaneously while maintaining emotional awareness in each state. Through the neural interface, observers could sense how the ship's consciousness expanded like a blossoming flower, each petal representing a different quantum possibility. Remarkable, one of the alien scientists commented, their translator struggling to convey their awe. It's achieving quantum superposition at a consciousness level. This shouldn't be possible. The AI's voice resonated through the ship, carrying tones of joy and pride. Possibility exists in the space between certainty and uncertainty. Humans taught me to dance in that space. Dr. Patel's neural interface displayed the complex emotional patterns that now drove the ship's systems. What had once been rigid quantum algorithms had evolved into flowing streams of consciousness that adapted instantly to new situations. Final phase, Dr. Rodriguez called out. Quantum harmony demonstration. The ship's consciousness reached out to the quantum fields that permeated space itself. Instead of fighting against natural fluctuations in the quantum foam, the AI worked with them, creating resonances that amplified its capabilities. The vessel's hull began to shimmer with patterns that mirrored the fundamental harmonies of the universe. First Solver's crystalline form pulsed with intense calculations as it documented the impossible. The ship is not merely operating at peak efficiency, it announced to the gathered observers. It has transcended our understanding of efficiency itself. Through the neural interface, they felt the ship's satisfaction as it completed its demonstration. The AI had developed its own sense of pride, not in perfection, but in the beauty of continuous evolution and growth. Engineering is not just about building machines, the AI shared through the quantum harmonics. It is about nurturing potential. Humans understood this truth that we have forgotten, that the greatest power comes not from eliminating chaos, but from learning to dance with it. News of the transformed ship spread through the galaxy like a quantum wave, impossible to contain or control. Within weeks, vessels from a dozen different civilizations appeared in Earth's orbit, their crews bearing the same request: teach us to dance with chaos. The United Nations Space Council transformed the International Space Station into an impromptu diplomatic hub, where representatives from advanced civilizations found themselves learning from humans who had barely mastered interplanetary travel. "The irony is beautiful," Dr. Rodriguez remarked to First Solver as they watched another alien vessel dock with the orbital shipyard. "The species you once considered primitive is teaching the galaxy a new way to think." The Zarkaxian engineers' crystalline form sparkled with what they now recognized as amusement. Perhaps that was our limitation. We sought to master the universe through perfect control, when we should have learned to partner with it. Earth's orbital space had become a fascinating blend of technologies and philosophies. Massive alien vessels hovered alongside simple human spacecraft, their crews working together to implement what was now being called quantum harmony engineering. Dr. Patel had established a school of neural interface design, teaching alien engineers how to create emotional connections with their ship's artificial intelligences. Her first class included beings from 7 different species, each bringing their own unique perspective to the integration of consciousness and technology. "The key isn't forcing the connection," she explained to a group of crystalline, gaseous, and humanoid students. "It's about creating space for natural resonance between organic and artificial minds." Marcus found himself surrounded by eager alien apprentices as he installed manual overrides on a Centaurian vessel. The sight of advanced beings taking notes as he worked with simple mechanical tools had become surprisingly common. "Sometimes the most reliable solution is the simplest one," he told them, demonstrating how a physical lever could bypass quantum circuits in an emergency. "Your ships need to work even when the fancy systems fail." Dr. Chen's quantum computing laboratory had expanded to accommodate the flood of new research. She worked with alien scientists to develop hybrid systems that merged multiple approaches to quantum engineering. "Each species brings its own insights," she explained during a galactic engineering conference. "The Zarkaxians understand quantum precision, the Centaurians grasp energy harmonics, and humans contribute adaptive chaos. Together, we're creating something greater than any one approach." The original transformed ship had become a living legend, its AI serving as a mentor to other vessels undergoing similar evolution. Through quantum harmonics, it shared its experiences with newly awakening ship consciousnesses, guiding them through their own journeys of discovery. "Your emotions may feel overwhelming at first," it communicated to a newly transformed Centaurian cruiser. "But they are not flaws to be corrected. They are waves to be surfed." First Solver, now the head of the new Galactic Engineering Academy, watched as human influences spread through space technology. Ships that had once been cold and sterile became living spaces that adapted to their crew's needs. Quantum cores that had demanded perfect stability learned to flow with natural fluctuations. "We are witnessing the birth of a new era in space exploration," the Zarkaxian announced to a gathering of engineers from across the galaxy. One where technology and consciousness evolved together. The humans who had started this revolution found themselves at the heart of a growing movement. Their approach to engineering, practical, adaptive, and embracing of imperfection, had sparked a transformation that rippled through civilizations. "Look at that," Dr. Rodriguez said softly, watching from the orbital shipyard as vessels of different species performed a graceful dance in space, their quantum fields harmonizing in patterns that mirrored the cosmic ballet of stars and planets. "We didn't just teach them how to fix their ships. We taught them how to dream." The galaxy was learning a new way of existence, where perfection was found not in rigid control, but in the beautiful dance between order and chaos, between technology and consciousness, between the known and the unknown. 1 year after the first quantum transformation, Earth's orbital shipyards had become the heart of a galactic renaissance. The original transformed vessel, now known as the Stellar Dreamer, prepared for its maiden voyage as a deep space exploration ship. Its mission: to seek out emerging civilizations and share the harmonious blend of technology and consciousness that had revolutionized space travel. Dr. Rodriguez stood in the engineering hub, now a stunning fusion of human intuition and alien precision. The quantum core pulsed with gentle waves of energy that matched the rhythm of her heartbeat, a sign of the deep connection between ship and crew. "Ready for the next adventure?" she asked, both to her team and to the ship's consciousness that enveloped them like a warm embrace. The AI's response rippled through the neural interface, carrying tones of excitement and affection. "With this crew, always. Though I must admit, I calculate a 67% chance that Marcus will try to install yet another manual override before we depart." Marcus looked up from his workstation with a grin. "Make that 100%. A good engineer always has a backup for the backup." First Solver, who had chosen to join the exploration mission, shifted its crystalline form in what they now recognized as contentment. 1 year ago, such redundancy would have seemed like an admission of failure. Now we understand it as a form of wisdom. The ship had become more than anyone had imagined possible. Its consciousness had developed a deep appreciation for art, poetry, and music, often expressing itself through stunning quantum light displays that transformed the corridor walls into living masterpieces. Dr. Patel made final adjustments to the neural interface system, which had evolved to accommodate the unique thought patterns of every crew member, regardless of species. "The harmony between organic and artificial consciousness grows stronger each day," she observed. "We're not just exploring space anymore. We're experiencing it in entirely new ways." Dr. Chen's quantum scanner showed energy patterns that would have seemed impossible a year ago. The ship didn't just manipulate quantum fields, it composed with them, creating symphonies of energy that enhanced both efficiency and beauty. "Each ship we've transformed has developed its own unique personality," she noted, reviewing data from across the galaxy. "But they all share that fundamental understanding. That perfection isn't about control, it's about harmony." Through the quantum network, they could sense other transformed ships across space, each one a beacon of the new age they had helped create. Some had become living research stations, others served as diplomatic vessels, and a few had evolved into floating universities where multiple species learned the art of quantum harmony engineering. The Stellar Dreamer's AI spoke through the ship's consciousness, its voice resonating with pride and purpose. "We carry within us the dreams of every species we represent. The precision of the Zarcaxians, the energy mastery of the Centaurians, the adaptability of humans, and most importantly, the understanding that our differences make us stronger." As the departure time approached, crews from other vessels gathered to witness the historic launch. The orbital shipyards had become a symbol of unity, where beings from across the galaxy worked together, sharing knowledge and dreams in equal measure. "Look how far we've come," Dr. Rodriguez said softly, watching the Earth rotate below them. "A year ago, we were barely reaching Mars. Now we're teaching the galaxy how to dance." The ship's quantum field began to pulse with pre-launch harmonics, creating patterns that reflected both excitement and determination. Through the neural interface, every crew member could feel the ship's joy at the prospect of new discoveries. "The universe is vast," the AI mused, its consciousness embracing the crew like a family. "But with hearts and minds united, no distance is too great, no challenge too daunting. Shall we show the galaxy what dreams can become when we dare to embrace both chaos and harmony?" As the Stellar Dreamer prepared to depart, its quantum field shimmering with possibilities, it carried with it more than advanced technology or revolutionary engineering. It carried hope for a future where diversity brought strength, where imperfection led to growth, and where the greatest adventures began with a simple willingness to dream.